Oh my God, that's horrifying and great.
Hey everybody, welcome to Back Issues of Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
Transformers! Yeah, time to shred some metal. There's nothing more metal
That's
than the movie Transformers theme from Lion.
From Lion? That was the
Lion
name of the band?
was the name of the band that did the title song from the
cartoon
movie,
film,
Transformers.
Not the Transformers that most people now know of.
Here.
Which had no connections to metal music whatsoever.
No, it was odd. It was like Linkin Park was like the hardest music you got in those Transformers movies. Pass. No, this is Daniel Warren Johnson's Transformers. If this was just Daniel Warren Johnson went, I need to do Transformers, the end, this would be the dopest shit ever. It still is rather dope. That said, it is also intricately woven into a sprawling, expanded universe masterminded by Marvel Zombies' own Robert Kirkman. And I know he'd be pissed if I said that.
Really?
I know he'd be so pissed that I didn't say The Walking Dead's Robert Kirkman or Invincible's Robert Kirkman. No, Marvel Zombies' Robert Kirkman.
Yeah.
He knows.
And Marvel fans know you for that.
That's right. And maybe Invincible because they caught it. You know, they caught a horribly cropped version of the Omni-Man killing everyone sequence on TikTok on their phones. And they went, I should probably watch this. And then they don't because it's in 107 parts, horribly cropped. But that's how children watch anything nowadays. So, sorry.
Well, it's there for free.
It's free. Why would I pay?
Well, I don't even know how that works.
Right. I don't know how anything works.
I wouldn't sign into Amazon. I don't even know how to get the Amazon Prime.
Mom!
I'm basically like an old person who knows how to use TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, they put the restrictions on.
Yeah.
I can't access it.
Mom, what's the password to Prime? Mom! Oh, crap, she's not here because she's working 2 jobs just like Dad. So Robert Kirkman created this like interconnected universe when he, through Image, acquired the G.I. Joe and Transformers properties. You might say poached from IDW. And people have, for almost a decade now, been like, when are you guys going to talk about IDW's Transformers? Because IDW's Transformers was this like long, sprawling, interconnected universe of stories with so many peaks and valleys and twists and turns. And then Image got it. Well, Skybound got it. And completely erased all that and was like, we're doing something new. And I'm like, okay. And the audience like, no!
Oh, I'll jump on right now.
I have this history.
Yeah, but all this stuff. I'm like, hey, we have those trades. And one day I will read one of them. This is part of what's known as the Energon universe. It all started with a book called Void Rivals, which Robert Kirkman is currently writing. At the time of this taping, it's up to issue 16. Void Rivals, completely new, original idea that is also intricately connected to both G.I. Joe and Transformers, but its own thing. It's kind of like Saga, and that's like the most insulting way I could describe it, but like it is kind of like Saga. But
wait, it's insulting to Saga?
Sure. And so that is how I'd sell it. It's like,
but with robots.
But they're not robots. Well, or they're kind of robots. Doesn't matter.
How is it Transformers if there's no robots?
Oh, because they're part of the same universe. Cybertron is part of their cosmology,
I see.
and may have roots in the origins of those 2 warring species within the framework of Void Rivals. And Void Rivals starts up, and then the last page reveals like, oh, and actually it wasn't the last page, but anyway, one of the earlier reveals of Void Rivals was like, oh my God, that's Jetfire from the Transformers, dope! And it's like, you knew that Robert Kirkman wouldn't shut up about how everything's connected, and Transformers and G.I. Joe and stuff. But like, hey, we're starting at ground zero. You know, people have always kind of thought, oh, Transformers and G.I. Joe, that makes sense. And in fact, I believe, one of the last live-action Transformers movies also had a post-credit scene that was like, G.I. Joe. And I'm like, you are 6 movies too late for that.
Yeah, what?
I'm still showing up.
Nobody cares.
I do. I will be there for that because Transformers is such a dead brand as far as film goes.
Yeah.
But you are too late.
I mean, we also saw the G.I. Joe movie when it came out.
I saw both of them. I did not see Snake Eyes, though, because no one saw Snake Eyes.
Nope.
The second one is still horrible. They're all horrible. But
yes, they are.
G.I. Joe and Transformers are cool, and Kirkman loves them, and he wants to make them dope and legitimate. So Joshua Williamson was the architect of the G.I. Joe arm of the Energon universe, wrote a book called Duke, also introduced Baroness got her own book. He didn't write that one, though. And Scarlet got her own book. He didn't write that one either. Kelly Thompson wrote that one. But he also wrote a Cobra Commander book.
Oh.
And that's all building up to the G.I. Joe series, which is also recently released, also written by Joshua Williamson. So like, there's a whole host of G.I. Joe books, and those all have roots in the Energon universe. You know?
So they're doing the Marvel movie thing.
Yes.
Where they're trying to build the Avengers from constituent parts
Yes,
to like
that's
build
right.
like hype and energy.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Oh no, it's a brilliant move, and I think it's worked out for them. The sales are good. But over on Transformers, they were like, and we got Daniel Warren Johnson to do Transformers. Write and draw it. And I'm like, oh, he's only going to do 6 issues of that. Because I've talked to
no
Daniel
way.
Warren Johnson. Like, he got his own cachet where he can make his own stuff. Like, he did do a power bomb, hugely successful. I mean, earlier than that, Murder Falcon. Now, The Moon is Following Us. You know, he's got his own kind of world. But he also deeply loves Transformers. And I was right. He definitely stopped drawing this book after issue 6. But he did stay to write it,
Okay.
which I do appreciate.
Yeah.
Also, unlike all the other books, Void Rivals, G.I. Joe, Duke, Baroness, Cobra Commander, this is so self-contained. Like, this is just him going like, okay, so I'm just going to do Transformers.
Right. I'm not really interested in.
Here's the thing: you can say it's in the same universe,
Right, and there is.
but I'm not going to really make it.
No.
that way.
And it's so in that regard, it's kind of like the early Marvel universe, where they were like, oh, I don't want to do that. Yeah, you could have someone else film that Thor cameo.
Right.
Like, he
And
did
put it after
in-
the credits.
Yeah, there is a sequence within the book that is directly connected to G.I. Joe. Like, whoa! And you know what? It worked. The audience went, holy crap! But if you didn't care, you were like, moving on.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. And it does have roots in that world. Like, they refer to things that are happening in Void Rivals, kind of. Like, there's the whole Cybertronian war between the Autobots and the Decepticons. If you're not familiar with Transformers, I'm going to say a lot of gobbledygook for what is essentially names for action figures that were retrofitted from Japan to sell to an American market. So I am sorry. And also, while I look the part, I am not the world's biggest Transformers fan. In fact,
Nobody
I
here is.
actively avoided Transformers as a child. I was not interested. I was
Really?
interested in street-level human characters. I liked superheroes.
Yeah, because you like superheroes, so you
Yeah.
were like, no.
And I also found G.I. Joe jingoistic.
As a child.
As a child, I was like, I don't like the military angle.
Interesting.
I was very much about like urban vigilantes.
Yeah,
Daredevil
ninjas.
appealed to me more than Duke. I didn't even know it at the time, but I felt like I was being sold to. Like, it felt like a recruitment video.
Yeah, I felt that way about G.I. Joe when I was a little older.
Yeah.
And it was like, which I'm not sure what the target age for G.I. Joe is, but I feel like by the time I was in
Kids.
like middle
Under 10.
school, I was like, oh no, this is
Oh, this is all
propaganda.
propaganda.
Which I didn't know what that
Yeah.
was, but I was sure that G.I. Joe was. But I don't know when I was younger if I don't know if I had any thoughts about it.
I know I dismissed it immediately.
Yeah.
Like, especially because like it was like, so many action figures, which were
Yeah.
neat, but again, not as cool as the superhero action figures.
Mm.
They were little. They had like a million points of articulation. They were just these like floppy
Weird
puppets.
floppy joints.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also every friend I had that had them just melted them.
they were
As far as I was
disposable
concerned,
to
they were
our
disposable
generation.
enough to the point where they were just like, you just put them in a
Wasn't G.I.
furnace.
Joe kind of like before our time?
Slightly
I feel
before.
like G.I. Joe's a little old.
Yes. Well, G.I. Joe had actually come
It had been
way
back
before,
because it
like
was
in
the
60s.
dolls,
It was
right?
the big
the
dolls.
full-size dolls
Yeah.
with the clothes and
That's
stuff.
right. That's right. Yeah.
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 And then they made the cartoon.
Then the cartoon to
was
sell
like
the new
it
action
was like
figures,
the
which
next
were much smaller.
generation. Yeah.
Exactly.
To me, G.I. Joe never got better than the meme videos that you found on YouTube. Hey, do you know my dad?
Oh! Yeah, that's G.I.
Exactly.
Joe for an entire generation of people. There's another thing about the Transformers cosmology and its history is like, you know, the Decepticons and the Autobots, they have this war on their horrible robot planet millions of years. And I'm like, get out of here.
Millions of years.
Like at least a million. I'm like, get out.
Neither side won
For a
in
million years.
a constant war.
And like, they never gave up.
Well, sometimes, you know, it ebbs and flows, and they like lose people, and they...
Right, yeah. It's like the Jedi and the Sith.
Yeah.
For
yeah.
thousands of
Right,
years.
like,
Not millions of years, but...
Yeah. And I just...
It's like sometimes one side wins, sometimes the other.
Yeah.
But it's like, look at our history.
Right.
What
gives you that kind of...
faction has persisted for more than
100 years.
yeah, few. More than 1,000?
No.
Hardly any.
Yeah.
More than 5,000? Zero.
Zero,
So
exactly.
like,
So 1 million.
What is your precedent for assuming that that's even possible?
Right, and I don't understand it, and I guess it's just because they're like, well, because they're
Well, it
robots
sounds
and they can
awesome.
live longer, and it sounds cooler. And I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, it loses.
Yeah,
me
like
immediately.
Optimus Prime was there 1 million years ago.
Million, and he's this naive. And
Also, that technology has existed for a million. What were they like 1 million years
Right.
ago?
Yeah, show me the difference.
Were they still robots that could transform into anything?
Did they
Were
turn into a truck a
slightly
million
less
years ago?
Were they made
sophisticated
of
robots?
wood and cogs?
Who built them? Were they?
Oh, they were never built by anyone. They are made of their own creation.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like who
constructed
the first factory that made the first
They
Transformer?
don't come out of a factory.
Exactly.
What, are they
Remember when he said
born?
grinding metal?
Then I saw a little cartoon called Beast Wars. And I was like, this
were
I could follow.
transformed.
I was transformed. I was like, this is interesting.
Beast Wars.
And it's like, it was a fun show and it was really easy to follow. But there's also this like neat plot where like they are actually there from the future and that Optimus is there from G1 and he's like in stasis and stuff. And I'm like,
Oh,
what?
it's all connected.
It's all connected and had this lore. And I'm like, oh, you got me with lore.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm interested.
Sweet. Yeah.
And so I
didn't care about this before, but now.
Yeah, and
now I'm in.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how
Give me
Sonic
this
the
deeply
Hedgehog got me.
convoluted
That
history.
cartoon.
Really?
It had lore and
It had
continuity.
lore,
I was
yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I gotta watch. I gotta find out. How did we get here?
How
It's
did we get
you
to
know,
this
you
point?
tune in the middle and you're like, what is all that? What are they talking about?
Yeah, yeah. It appeals on a certain level. So this like leans heavily in the early original version of the Transformers cartoon, what they called affectionately G1. And
Why is it G?
Generation.
Oh.
There have been many different iterations and incarnations of Transformers.
G1 for GoBots 1.
Fuck no! Although, the GoBots do predate the Transformers. So,
Yeah.
technically they're the ripoffs. Ain't nobody making GoBots movies. Although,
But you could for a really cheap price.
Well,
They
the-
should
no,
do
they
a
can't.
GoBots crossover with Transformers.
they could theoretically, I believe, now make the GoBots some offshoot of the Transformers because Hasbro owns it all.
Oh.
So,
There you go.
Okay.
yeah. They haven't.
They could make that movie for 2 people.
Well, Hasbro's like, why would I rob from myself to make that?
Yeah.
I could just keep making Transformers.
Yeah, I don't need to make Transformers or risk anything by making a GoBots thing. Kirkman could be like, and the GoBots. Like, put that in the Energon universe. Our main character, our human main character is Spike, named after the original child human character from G1 who made friends with the Autobots. Spike's father was a Vietnam vet, and so he has some trauma from that.
Okay.
But we see some like images of the Ark, which was the ship that the Autobots were escaping on from Cybertron when they were forced off their homeworld. We see a little bit of imagery from Spike's father's experience in war, and like this one soldier missing an eye. We see Optimus missing an eye.
Spike's father and Optimus Prime have like some commonality.
They do. They're both war vets.
Mirrors of each other.
Exactly. And that's going to become very unified very shortly.
Well, I mean, that's also going to be fantastic for Spike because he's like, oh, my new robot dad.
Yep.
You got the same trauma he does.
Yep. That's definitely happening.
Yeah, but you don't drink. So you're
Right.
better.
You are better, yeah. No. Well,
Wait, you don't have Energon Q beverages here?
no, we don't. Well,
Hard Energon?
that's the thing. Is like Energon is a big thing. That's why they call it the Energon universe. Like Energon is the key to everything. Like Cobra is developed after Cobra Commander leaves Cobra La, the ancient society of snake people.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of
Also
course it is.
Spacefaring.
Cobra La. That,
It's
okay.
real. It's canon. It's from the cartoon.
For
and
them
in
to
the
have
comics.
a snake people society and call it Cobra La like Shangri-La.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
I know.
That's just good writing.
That's just genius. Yeah.
That'd
No
be-
notes.
That'd be amazing, especially when like Cobra Commander tries to go back and they're like, "You've forsaken your Cobra ways."
That's right.
What are you talking about? I called myself Cobra Commander. I got the whole Cobra
No,
motif.
he's like, I've got this, and now I'm going to make my own faction, and that's Cobra, the ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world.
And Cobra La's like, he has lost his way.
Yeah,
Hiss.
it's the whole thing. They're in Void
awesome.
Rivals.
Sweet.
The snake people who are ruled by Globulus.
Globulus?
Yeah, he's a snake man.
Why? I thought it was going to be a snake pun. I'm really...
Yeah, like King Cobra.
Yeah.
Oh, he comes up later.
Or asp, or...
These are all things that we use in Cobra or G.I. Joe. But don't conflate them with Globulus, the leader of Cobra Law. Doesn't matter. Anyway, Daniel Ward Johnson is not interested in any of that.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't
He's
care.
like, I'm going to tell a story about a kid whose father has deep-rooted Vietnam trauma, and he's going to replace his dad with a giant robot who's awesome looking. Because one time, when I was a kid, I had an Optimus Prime action figure, and I took him out on the bus, and his hands, which are removable, fell out and rolled down the bus aisle, and I lost them forever. And I was devastated.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he actually...
Is he going to lose his hands in this book because of that?
He does lose at least one hand in this book. Yeah. So anyway, Spike goes to retrieve his dad from the VFW hall, and because his dad's a big drunk, because he's sad because Spike's brother died. He was an astronaut, and he blew up in a space shuttle, not unlike the Challenger. And so Dad is sad not only from
his own war experiences, but also from losing a son.
From losing his oldest son. And he kind of takes that out on Spike. He's not mean to Spike or anything, but he is dismissive and he's a drunk. So Spike goes
Why aren't you like your brother?
No, he doesn't want to be like his brother. His brother died in space. No, you stay down here with me. But Spike's got aspirations like that. He worships his brother. He has a telescope. He's always looking to the stars. He's got a great friend whose name is Carly, and Carly has her own desires and plans and aspirations. She's an artist, and she paints dope-looking images on vans.
Yes, she does.
Sweet.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is
It's
pretty
just a
sweet.
combination of things that Daniel Warren Johnson likes, like Conan and Gandalf and dragons.
And the A-Team.
Dragons. And the A-Team,
That is the
yeah.
A-Team van.
Yeah.
'Cause it's got the little spoiler in the
yeah,
back.
spoiler in the
Spoiler,
back.
yeah.
But it's, painted up.
And if you think Carly sees Optimus Prime and doesn't airbrush that motherfucker on the back of that thing, you are mistaken, my friend. She is like, that dude belongs on a van. I'm like,
I mean, she's
agree.
not wrong.
Yeah. So
That robot that is also a truck should be on a van,
that's right.
which is
It's
also
inceptive.
a robot.
Yeah. So Spike goes to pick up his dad. His dad's already drunk. He's like, have you been here long? His dad's like, no, I just got here. And the bartender's like, he's been here since noon. Get him the hell out of here.
Doesn't he have a job? Doesn't he have a job? Is
Yeah, he does have a
retired?
job, but
Oh.
it's like, no, he works. He's a
He
blue
works from
collar.
home, so he just
he's
goes
got
to
a-
the
No,
bar.
he just died. He
He's
works.
working a night shift, apparently.
That's right. So Spike's dad gets picked up by Davey, who is Carly's father.
Okay.
So Davey's like,
Okay.
come on, man, let's go. And, Spike just wants his dad's approval. He's like, hey, Dad, come on. And basically he's like, you're going to have to grow up, Spike. I'm sorry. And he's like, what, and be like you?
Oh.
Ugh.
Ouch.
So then Spike goes to Carly, and they're going to go look at the stars and just talk about their futures. Spike's got plans.
Yeah.
Carly wants to go to
Does
Berkeley.
he want to be an astronomer?
He wants to be an astronaut.
Oh. Like his
Yeah, my brother had the right idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and
he blew up, but
I didn't have. I mean, look. I don't have dreams of my own. I just want to. I have hero worship issues.
Right.
So Carly and Spike climb a mountain. They get up there and they end up sharing a tender moment before they fall into a crevasse, which reveals the Ark.
Oh, the Transformers.
Transformers,
Yeah, not the Ark of the Covenant.
No, that would kill them. But so they get in there and they're like, whoa. When they get in, and when they enter the Ark, they see this devastation. There was clearly a great battle here between Autobots and Decepticons.
In the Ark?
In the Ark. That's
Oh.
right. And so it is wrecked. You see a whole bunch of fun action figures that you might want to purchase one day. And you're just like...
I mean, they're damaged, so
And
you
they-
wouldn't want to purchase those ones.
Well, no, they are pretty wrecked. So then, Jetfire appears. Jetfire had been searching for a suitable home base for the Autobots to regroup, and you get thrown off course, and then the characters from Void Rivals found him and turned him back on, and then he came here. So Jetfire disregards the humans because the Autobots, Decepticons, the Transformers don't know who humans are. They're just kind of stuck here. And most of them are also deactivated.
How long has this ship been here?
Good question. A while. Like a long while. Long enough for Cobra to have harvested Energon.
Why does he already look like a machine? Do they check in? He looks like an Earth machine, like a fighter jet. Or
No, they
whatever.
already did that.
Well, that's why they chose this planet. They're like, oh, look, they already have Transformers
They don't
on
even-
that planet.
they know-
They're always in vehicle form.
Yeah, look. Hey, wake up. Oh.
So wait, I guess I never asked this about Transformers. Why do they think they transform?
Right. In the movies, Like the live action ones, they
Right,
are there as infiltration units.
Right.
Right. In this,
When
it's
they're
like-
on their whole planet, they don't transform into. They don't have
But
like
they
pieces
do.
of.
But they do, because in the Bumblebee movie, if you're talking about only
Yeah,
live
that's
action
true.
one, there's a flashback to the like G1 version of everybody, which
Yeah.
is that like 2 minutes
it's
completely
fantastic.
destroys every other moment in every single
Yeah, it's
Transformers
really sweet.
movie, and it's just this.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's
But
no
yeah,
good
they
explanation.
already look like Earth machines.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Maybe it's a case of convergent evolution. You know,
Sure.
that just happens to be a very useful shape of machine, and that's why we built our planes like
Yeah.
that.
Well, Jetfire uses Teletram 1, the AI aboard the Ark, to gather information on this planet, and then they use that information to turn themselves into like trucks and stuff.
I see. So they looked like something else,
Yeah.
and they do change themselves.
They do change themselves
Okay.
into the things that like are familiar to the people on this planet.
Right.
Which includes
Before
like-
that, they probably still transform.
Oh, yeah, they
into
transform.
other stuff that we wouldn't recognize.
Yes, or we would recognize, like, there is a character in Void Rivals who is an Autobot who transforms into what is essentially a car, but it's not an Earth car.
Right, it's a
but
space
like,
car.
Look, you want to put a guy in there and go from there to there, it's going to kind of look like a car.
Right. Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Fair enough.
But it is distinct enough from an Earth car as opposed to, like,
Sure.
another car.
Okay.
So the other thing that Teletram 1, which is again this like
The AI.
sentient AI that like lives on the ship and is integrated into the ship itself and helps them, he's been activated by Jetfire to essentially like use Energon to bring everybody back, like because they're all kind of offline. They're broken, but they're not dead.
It's like stasis, I guess.
Yeah, it's just they're unconscious.
off.
They're off. And so Teletran
machines, you can turn them on and
and
off.
they're broken. So
Yeah.
like Teletran 1's going to like assemble them in no particular order, by the way, because like I don't see a difference between Autobots and Decepticons. This is a very progressive book. And so
We're all Autobots.
so the first
Or
one, we're all
what do
one.
What do they call themselves? What is their species?
They're Cybertronians.
We're all Cybertronians.
Exactly.
There you go.
So the first one,
That is the lesson you must learn. There are no Decepticons and Autobots. There are only Cybertronians.
see, look at how I made Starscream the first one. Oh, fantastic! Thank you.
Good job. Now he's gonna kill everybody else.
Yep. Starscream's like, great! I
Have
to
you learned
assume.
nothing?
Starscream's like, oh, Jetfire, man, this is great to see you. Hold that thought, and then blows Bumblebee's head off.
Sweet. Great.
Jetfire's like, what are you doing, man? Stop! He's like, what? Because Jetfire is out of the loop.
He's
Jetfire's
not
been
one of
searching
them.
for 1,000,000 years.
Oh.
These guys have only been fighting for 100 or so years. Like,
I'm sorry. Jetfire's been searching for
for like a new home for
Ha-
them.
Have they been on Earth for 1,000,000 years?
These guys, no. Jetfire, no. Again, also. Jetfire was on another maroon
Jetfire
planet.
came here
After
the
being
Ark
marooned for 1,000,000
had
years.
already been here.
No, he came here after the Ark was launched, but before it came here.
Does he have a
okay.
ship, or did he fly himself through
He flew,
space?
but he seemed to have flown himself. That's what
So
I
he ain't marooned anywhere.
No, but he
knows he
also
wants
didn't
to
have
be
enough
here.
Energon to reassemble. So
Oh.
anyway,
So he didn't notice when the Ark landed?
no, he missed it. No, Jetfire was off. He was offline on an alien moon while the Ark landed on Earth and stuff. He missed all
see.
that.
Okay.
So the Ark lands.
The Ark lands
And
at
then
some
Jetfire
other
shows
point.
up.
Jetfire
Yeah.
shows up after that because
I
he's
see.
been in stasis
Yeah.
on a moon in Void
That
Rivals
makes
for a
sense.
long time.
Okay. Yeah.
So Jetfire and Starscream have a big fight where Starscream essentially shoots Jetfire in a pivotal location. Hard to tell what that is because he's a robot, but whatever. So he's like, all right, I'm going to blow you away.
Well, it's like a gut shot.
Exactly. So Starscream shoots Jetfire and then
Right in the radiator.
Optimus Prime comes to and then clotheslines Starscream. Don't forget, it's Danny Warren Johnson, so there will be suplexes in this book.
Nice.
But yeah, so Optimus just completely takes down Starscream, and he's like,
Does he rip
Who's
him in
bigger?
half?
He does not. He doesn't.
What?
He also doesn't force Starscream to beg for mercy before he guts him like a fish.
So weird.
I know.
That's not the Optimus I know.
No, this is a very different Optimus Prime from the one you're familiar with from the movies. This is a hero. So Optimus suplexes Starscream, and while he's on the ground, he sees Spike and Carly, and he's like, "What are you?" Like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And Starscream starts shooting at all of them until Ratchet comes to. Teletran 1's just like, "Oh, that one. and that one, and this one, and it just takes a minute to put them all together.
Right.
So it's just like,
So is that just like Optimus's backpack?
Yeah, it's not like his ass or like his dick. It's just like additional Optimus.
The trailer's like his backpack.
The trailer's the backpack.
Yeah.
The cab is he.
Yeah. Okay.
Soundwave comes to. He immediately recognizes Prime. He's like, "Well, I'm up to speed. I know that I'm trying to shoot Prime. I'm a Decepticon." Blows Prime half to hell. While Prime is in the flames, he finds Bumblebee's corpse. He cradles Bumblebee's corpse. He's like, "Oh no, Bumblebee, no!" And I'm like, "Oh man, is Bumblebee not in this book?
Yeah. What?
What?" And Danny Warren John's like, "Yeah, you thought Bumblebee was gonna be a thing, but Bumblebee's been a thing. Okay, we've done that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that. Plus, we have a spare. We have other types of Autobots that are like Bumblebee, but never get any love. Like Cliffjumper, who has literally read Bumblebee.
Yeah, but
and when
I
I say
like
that, I mean
Bumblebee.
figuratively. Yeah, but you'll love Cliffjumper just as much.
Because Cliffjumper can talk.
Bumblebee could talk too. That's an invention for those stupid movies. So, while Prime is cradling Bumblebee's corpse, and you're like, oh no, I don't think Bumblebee's gonna make it. Spike is like, that's the good guy, the guy who feels bad for other people's demises. I'll help him. So while Prime is trying to reach his ion cannon, Soundwave launches his cassette tape because he's an awesome. Because the Soundwave figure is awesome. You can open his chest and a cassette tape comes out. The
Right.
cassette tape becomes a little Decepticon animal.
Yeah, it was great.
He has a dog, he has a bird, Ravage and Laserbeak. Ravage is sent out, he goes to attack Prime. Prime tries to get his ion cannon. Spike is like, we gotta help the big one. The one that's red, white, and blue. Let's help him.
Right.
And Carl's like, dude, we should like stay here. These things are
should
like the
run
size
away.
of a building. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get squished. And he's like, come on. So then Spike and Carl like push the ion cannon with their bodies over to Prime. You can see how big it is in comparison to them. And so they turn the tide, get Prime the ion cannon. Prime immediately just puts one between Ravage's eyes. This poor dog's like,
Oh no!
Prime's like, it's war, I'm sorry. Don't throw your dog at me.
Yeah.
They don't expect me to shoot it, all right? So it's going bad.
Wow, so the dog doesn't make it.
The dog does not make it. Now the dog could make it because Teletran 1 is able to assemble everybody and put everybody
Oh,
together.
so Bumblebee can come back.
Bumblebee could, except the thing is, you can't like blow up a vital part. Like what they say later, and it's actually in relation to his Matrix leadership, but like you can't really stop the inevitable. Like there are still mortal wounds on these guys.
Right. Like they can die.
They can die.
They're not
and
like
they
a
can-
machine that can just be repaired.
Right. Let's get him a new
parts.
face. Like you
Yeah.
can't just swap out his head for another head.
Right. Some parts can be replaced,
Yes.
just like with us.
Yes.
Some parts can be replaced, but
Yes.
not every part.
Exactly. So Prime sees how bad this is going while Ratchet and Jetfire are loading
The bodies of the other
bodies of
Autobots.
the discarded ones that have been defeated or offline into his trailer. And they're like, Prime, we gotta get the hell out of here. They're making more. Like Teletran's like, here's another one. Oops, it is also a Decepticon? I don't know. And Prime's like, because Teletran 1 is a guy, by the way. Like he's got a little head.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry, Teletran.
Was it the Autobots ship?
Yes.
Yep.
Why is it green? Why
It
is
doesn't
putting
see the
back?
difference.
It
doesn't know the difference.
Well, because they built an AI that has like morals that doesn't see the difference between people and favor
It's
one.
so progressive.
Yeah.
So Prime blows away Teletran 1. He's like, I have to leave, and I can't leave the Decepticons
Can't let you
with
just
you.
keep raising more Decepticons.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
a problem. Maybe you could notice the symbols on our chests and armor.
I don't understand the difference. So he
Those
blows
are
Tel-
arbitrary. I don't know what they mean.
Yeah, that looks like just a fun-looking design.
You all look the same to me.
Yeah, that's very progressive of you, Teletran 1. I appreciate it, but
I
blam!
have to kill you though.
So he blows Teletran 1 away, scoops up Carly and Spike, and hauls ass, transforms into a truck cab, and then loads up with his trailer, and then hauls ass out of the arc, off of the cliff.
Oh, are Carly and Spike inside the cab?
Yeah,
of
they're in the
Optimus?
cab.
Yeah, he holds them and then goes like transforms around them. By the way, Danny Warren Johnson makes sure to make the onomatopoeia cookie.
Yep, he does. It's kooky kookaki.
I can't argue with that.
Yep.
Also, what are you gonna do? Like you
It's
can't
better than goosh 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 goosh.
exactly. It's not gonna work, and it's hard to do. But with Danny Warren Johnson, who has characters do things like grab, and the sound effect is just the word grab.
Grab, yep.
I'm like, I'll take kooky kookak.
There's a roll here where it's just roll.
That's the sound.
I could see he's rolling.
Yeah, but you know he makes a crazy rolling sound. You know what that sound is.
Right.
You don't need me to try to approximate it.
Right. Just imagine him rolling.
Just imagine the
And
sound
what it would
effect.
sound like.
I want you to hear a sound while he's rolling.
Don't forget their sound.
I perfectly depicted his roll.
Yeah.
So you already visually get that. But if you want to have like a visual
full sensory
auditory
experience, I got to remind you to think of the sounds that are being made.
Exactly. And if you use your phone, it'll also tell you what the smells are in that room.
It's a 4D experience.
Exactly.
Or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so they get the fuck out of
The
there.
Autobots, they haul ass out of there. Immediately, Starscream transforms into a jet and chases after them.
Why do I got to turn the book like this?
Because D-Dubs wants to do a full widescreen shot of these cars driving away.
I mean, it is a big truck, so, you know.
You could just do that where it's a double page splash and you just
It's
see
not the same. It doesn't have the same dimensions.
And
as,
plus, they knew there'd be a big crease in the middle.
Yeah, and you don't want that. And don't worry, just in case you're wondering, before they left, Optimus Prime does yell out, Autobots transform and roll out. Which, so of course they do. And so off they go.
They seem to already be rolling out when he says, and roll out.
Well, we are rolling out, and I need you to continue.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
Don't stop rolling.
Decepticons, stay here and die.
Would you?
All right. So this ship is enormous.
Oh, I know.
Look at it's like you could fit tens of thousands of them inside this.
Yeah.
There is no way that humanity would have not found this.
Nah, it's a small, sleepy town.
The size of a mountain.
It's in the side of a mountain. We weren't looking over there.
But it's so big.
I know.
A satellite or something.
How would it have crashed and no one knew?
Listen.
Well, maybe it crashed thousands of years ago.
I'm not saying that no one knew about it. I'm just saying that the general public
Most
was not
people
aware
didn't
of
know
it.
about Yeah, maybe it was kept under wraps.
Yeah, it had to be.
Is this in Roswell?
No.
But it is the Pacific Northwest.
Well, sure. So Starscream goes after them. Jetfire goes after Starscream, and they're both low on Energon, and so they can't pursue them any further, and so they basically give up and let the Autobots go.
I'm sorry, I'm confused as to what Energon is.
Is it like
is it
blood?
gas?
It's food. It's food for them. But it's also
food.
That's the way that the Cybertronians deal with it. They describe it as their food.
So it's
But
food,
it's energy.
But it's a measured amount of food. It's like
Yes.
I'm going to chase after you, and at some point I'm going to be like, "Oh, I'm low on Energon.
Yes.
I can't continue."
Yeah.
Yes,
Like you
that's
get
right.
tired.
Yeah.
If you don't eat a healthy breakfast.
Or if
and
you
you
just-
try to, participate in a sport.
You need fuel
your
for your
performance
body.
will suffer, yeah.
And because they are robots in disguise, they eat energy, but humans or Cobra people or Void Rival characters can consume this Energon in other ways and can use it to power like super weapons and stuff.
When you say consume it in other ways, so instead of eating it with your mouth, it goes up your butt.
Well, of course, that's what I'm referring to. But only for the Zertonians and Egorians.
Okay.
What? Who are they?
They're the alien species that are star-crossed from Void Rivals.
I see.
The whole thing, there is no way we will ever talk about Void Rivals on this show unless Robert Kirkman is also on this show.
Right.
Because
I want some answers.
And
No,
he specifically will only talk about that and
Right.
won't talk to us
about anything else, Invincible or Walking Dead or Marvel
Something
Zombies, there's
that
no
people actually
way.
give a shit about, yeah.
Autobots and Decepticons, Cybertronians have Energon within them, but it's a finite supply. Cybertron itself produced or at least generated Energon. Energon can be also replicated using Cybertronian technology and human,
So you can build it.
Earth-based energy. Because it's not like it's a thing you eat. It's like it's like an energy source.
It's not
So-
something you eat. It's something you pour into a gas tank.
They don't pour it.
Metaphorically.
It's like you get shocked with it. Like it's just kind of like this thing that they.
Oh, it's more like a battery. They
It's more like a
charge you
battery.
up.
Yeah, they get charged with it, and you can charge weapons with it as well, as demonstrated in the GI
So
Joe series.
it's a
energy
sort of
source.
portable, transferable source of concentrated energy.
Precisely. That's exactly what Energon should be considered.
And something that is not electricity.
Well, it is because humans can use a combination. Well, the Decepticons end up using a combination of like scrap metal and electricity and a machine to make Energon, or at least approximate Energon to
It's like
sustain
Energon
it.
Light.
It's something where it's like It's not a sandwich, but it is like a dead squirrel that I made over the fire. If
They're
I
like a
cook it long
vampire
enough,
drinking like animal blood instead of person blood.
yeah,
Like it will sustain me. It's
I
just
think
not
it's more like the real
great.
thing I said, where it's like a thing you can do.
Or like in that vampire show where they have synthetic blood and
Sure.
it's not as good as real
It's
blood,
more like,
but like
it's not gonna.
it'll do in a
It ain't
pinch.
pretty, but it'll work.
Yeah.
It'll do the job. Yeah. It isn't.
But it's
good-
nothing like the real thing.
It's not as good as the pure stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Autobots get direction from Spike, who takes them to the quarry. This old quarry that like Spike is familiar with, and so they hide out in there. Meanwhile,
Hide out in Spike's quarry.
yeah, that's right.
It's like, I know a place.
Yeah.
Well, you're just a stupid child.
No, they don't even
What?
know what he is. They're just like, well, you can talk and stuff, so you must be like the dominant species of the planet. So
Right.
let's look
Well, you're in charge here.
Well, thank God we all speak the same language.
Yeah, don't worry about that. So Jetfire dies. He's like, that's all I got. I got nothing left. I failed. I'm sorry. Like, I was supposed to find us a home and like get us someplace where we could like regroup, and I was off the grid forever. And it seems that like Optimus, I didn't even know you were a Prime. Like, I didn't know you were in charge. Like, a lot's happened since you fucked up and disappeared. And and Optimus is very like complimentary. And,
Does he remember him?
yeah.
Oh,
No,
but he
Optimus
wasn't
knew
Optimus
him.
Prime. He was just Optimus.
Except he was somebody else. Well, he had a different name. It's
yeah.
like when you become the Prime, you get a different name.
Right.
But and of course the Matrix of Leadership, which is a literal thing
Right.
that goes in your chest.
Right.
Optimus, by the way, not unlike the Optimus from the Michael Bay movies, keeps trying to use the Matrix to fix or resuscitate people, and other people keep going, "Don't do that." Not unlike reminding people that they could always put the cube in his chest. And I'm like, at least that's consistent.
Yeah.
I could always take this thing out of my chest and no, please, Optimus, don't do that.
No, please.
Okay, but don't forget that's always on the table. So
It's very perverse in the Autobot culture.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Jetfire, believing he failed in his mission and that the Autobots will die, dies.
I mean,
Yikes.
technically they will if they can't make Energon.
Well, yeah, that's true, but like they'll die too. So, well, except they won't because they also took over Cybertron. So
This is very dark.
it's super dark. Yeah, the Transformers mythology is a really, really bleak place. Another reason why I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, look at all these like robots, these poor, cold, unfeeling, dead things who have been around for millions of years and they still can't
They
get their shit
feel.
together.
They
it's-
care for each
no,
other.
I love them very much. They're actually really sweet people who are also like naturally occurring, so they have souls. So they're in the quarry. Jetfire dies, believing basically that like they've lost.
Yeah.
Right, like I
Boromir.
tried to find a new home for us and I couldn't.
No, Boromir at least is like, I got to serve the king of men.
That's true, but he says the kingdom of men will fall. Like he's convinced that they're going to lose.
No, he's convinced they're going to lose until Aragorn says, I won't
Well,
let it.
Aragorn does try to reassure him.
Yeah, well, because and he's the king of men. If anyone can, it should be him. And Boromir's a purist of Gondor, so he's like,
And he
well,
believes him.
I believe you.
He doesn't say I believe you.
He doesn't need
says
to
I
say
would have
it.
followed you.
Acting conveys
If I will
emotion
follow
and
you,
depth.
then he believes in him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he believes. At the very least, that there's a chance.
I will follow
More
you.
of a chance than he had
because
before.
man, that
That's
ass
true.
you got, whoo!
Yeah, Vigo's packing. So Starscream is the de facto leader of the Decepticons because Megatron ain't here. Soundwave is kind of like, we need to fix Ravage. Because he's my dog and I feel bad. And Starscream's like, we don't have enough freaking time or energy. Like, the Teletran 1's broken. We need like to get our shit together and we're running out of Energon. Like, shut up!
I'm not fixing your dog.
I'm not fixing your stupid dog. We gotta make more bad guys to kill the Autobots. and Force Soundwave is like, Megatron, don't say his name. I am in charge. And it's like, this is a thing, this has been a running thing for G1 Transformers forever, which is that like Starscream's always been like, I'm in charge! And then Megatron's like, shut up, Starscream! And then shoves his face in the toilet.
Yeah.
Until finally the movie comes out where Megatron becomes Galvatron and then just kills Starscream during his coronation ceremony. But anyway, this is a version of the Transformers where it's like Starscream's in charge. Megatron is off the table. Where? We don't know. Unless you're reading like, G.I. Joe stuff. But for now, we don't know. We don't know where Megatron is. All we know is he ain't here. And Starscream is in charge.
And
which
so
means
don't
things are
bring
gonna
up
be
his
shitty.
name because I don't want you to think of like better times.
Exactly. I especially don't want you to think that I could be replaced. So Starscream is sent off on a mission because he's the one with the most Energon, so he can actually go on missions and shit.
Right.
Which is to get scrap and like electricity and
Right. To make
to
more
help
energy.
make more Energon, or at the very least like power them a little bit.
Right.
This is where Dave and Spike's father work. Is at the power
Oh.
plant. So Starscream just starts tearing up all their shit.
Okay, so
That's very
the ability to be
inconvenient.
discreet is not in any of the Cybertronians.
Well, the Decepticons don't give a fuck, especially Starscream. He's like, whatever, we could kill them.
Right.
Like, in fact, Davey, Carly's father, is like, what the crap? Starscream sees him, grabs him, and he's like, are you like the dominant species on this planet? And just squishes him to death.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Yep, he is. Yep, and we get Squish
Yeah.
as the onomatopoeia.
Made of his organs. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So now Carly has no father. And no family for that matter.
Horrifying.
And yeah, Starscream's like, oh, we own this burg. Meanwhile, we got to.
You don't know what kind of weapons we have, man.
Yeah, I guarantee they're not going to be as good as a giant robot that could turn into a fighter jet that could shoot missiles.
A nuke?
I would love to see you try. I'll fly away. Or shoot you before you fire it. I'm also Starscream, so like I have endless positivity and self-confidence.
Right.
Now we have a sequence.
Maybe we could wake up Godzilla, and Godzilla can fight the Decepticons.
IDW is like, ha! We got
I
that!
don't know that one.
And the turtles can't show up either. So now we have a sequence that I remember Daniel Warren Johnson telling me about, and he like fought for this scene. He's like, this is the scene we need. And I remember, I believe there was some back and forth about whether we should do this or not. And I'm happy to report it's in the book. Optimus comes out of the quarry to like witness this planet for like the first time with like a minute, and he sees like this is he's not familiar with like planets that aren't made of cold metal and everything.
Right.
So he's like, this place is beautiful. It's like green and organic, and he's so taken by it that he just like steps absently and crushes a deer.
Jeez.
And he picks
Because
it
he's
up.
so huge.
He's so big.
Starscream and Optimus are both murderers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
Jeez.
I think there's a little bit of a
There's a
difference.
very big difference.
But, you know, Optimus kills this deer, and he's like...
They
and-
both learn a lesson about the frailty of the beings of Earth.
Yeah,
they react
and,
very differently.
And it defines them as people.
Yeah. And it's right after. It's like
it is.
very intentionally juxtaposed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Optimus sees this moment, and this is his defining moment, where he's like, everything on this planet is breakable. Like, he explains to Spike, like, I could walk anywhere and, like, the ground wouldn't move. Like, everything is part of me. Here, everything is fragile and can be broken. And I am the only thing between its destruction and its protection. Like, I have to take care of this place. I can't let the Decepticons... I shouldn't even let them even find this place, much less be here. I have to protect this place.
Although something in this field is clogging up my air filter.
Spike's like, oh, great, welcome to hay fever. So Spike and Optimus like connect and understand each other. Optimus explains the origins of like his war with the Decepticons. We do see like a sequence where Optimus and Megatron fought.
Oh, and Megatron like puts out his eye with his thumb.
Yeah.
That's how that happened.
That's how that happened, yeah. And Megatron will, in turn, lose both his eyes at different intervals throughout stories that are not in here.
Okay.
But he's like, yeah. It's funny because Spike refers to his like mom and dad, who are no longer with us. Well, his dad's around, but his mother isn't. And Optimus has no frame of reference for those words. But Spike says family, and Optimus is like, that I do know, and that I value. So yeah.
Man, thank God our language barrier is not problematic.
Exactly.
Thank God not only do we speak the same words, but
Yes.
they mean the same things.
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah. Well, my my robot brain like deciphered your language when I heard the first couple of words come out.
It's just like we don't need to waste time.
Don't worry about it.
They're
Yeah.
robots that turn into trucks and planes.
You're worried about
And
how
you're worried
they
about their
talk?
effing language barrier. Shut up.
What is wrong with you?
So then Cliffjumper reveals himself. He's like, hey, I'm here too. Yeah, I know you lost Bumblebee, but how about Red Bumblebee? I'm sorry, I mean Cliffjumper. He jumps cliffs and stuff. He's fun. So
I don't like him.
Is he like a
You don't like
buggy?
Cliffjumper? I kind of love Cliffjumper.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't
little-
like his design. I don't
I
know.
really like his design.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's kind
What
of
do you
fun.
say he jumps cliffs?
Like he can like
He's like a
is
an
he like the
off-road
spider
vehicle.
buggy? Is he
Yeah.
like big wheeled and like?
no, but like he functions like one.
Okay, to be fair, any car can jump cliffs.
Yeah, but Cliffjumper
they're not
does it
going to
really well.
land right.
Yeah, well, Cliffjumper does. So Cliffjumper's like, humans, these are gross. What is it? So Cliffjumper and Carly end up like connecting, because Cliffjumper's like, he like won't refer or regard Spike because he's so like he's just so upset by them. And Carly's like, yeah, my friend Spike is not like a spider that you like should be afraid of. Okay, you address him. He's sentient. and basically like puts Cliffjumper in his place, and then proceeds to like have an actual conversation. Like they shake hands and meet. So then they go over to the quarry. They check out like the cab. They check out the trailer and they see like what we've got going on here, and it's like it's not going great.
Yeah, there's a few corpses scattered around.
Not corpses.
They're unconscious.
But they are unconscious. Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like something half being constructed.
Yes,
Who's this?
Yeah, they're rebuilding, and they have like a generator that they're using to like help function, like to help run the machines that are within the trailer that can reassemble everybody.
Okay.
It's not as well or as quickly as Teletran 1, but still.
Right, but it's something. So that's part of Optimus Prime's like trailer,
Yeah.
like hardware.
Yeah, it's like a command
repairs
center that
things,
can also be useful.
Yeah, it's a sweet toy.
Exactly, it is pretty sweet.
Okay. And we have a mechanism by which we can keep introducing new Transformers at a steady pace.
But like
but drawn out.
followable.
Yeah.
Like every
Sweet.
issue, we can introduce you to a new
Yep.
Autobot.
It's like,
Yeah.
the thing
I don't know
finished
how
building.
we got all of these bodies here because it definitely wasn't big enough for that. But
Oh,
we'll
it was
just
big
keep
enough.
churning them out.
It was really big.
We really crammed them in there like a clown car.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
threw him in and just took off.
Okay.
So Skywarp drops down. He's like another jet-based Decepticon, and reveals like, okay, we got Soundwave, we got Skywarp, we got Starscream, and they're just stealing generators and just like we gotta get more shit that can
Right.
like make
And
more Decepticons.
Not only that, but like Spike's dad is
Yeah.
telling the cops what happened.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, haha! Yeah, the cops are like, sure thing, drunkie. Ah!
Okay, my friend got squished though.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. His
Yeah.
his
Now,
daughter's
what
orphan.
happened to him? Well, a robot picked
A
him up
giant
and crushed
robot
him
that
in his
turns into a
hand.
jet squished him to death.
Okay, no, but like, what really happened?
And then a giant jet comes down and crushes the cop cars, and they're like,
Oh,
Son of a
Okay.
bitch.
Nah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
damn it.
Meanwhile, a couple of cool dudes in a actual non-transforming jet,
Lame.
I believe it's an F-18.
an F-18, are
Yeah.
flying through, and they hear about this, and Starscream is like, oh man, look at what the humans are doing. I'm gonna go check it out. So he turns into a jet and he goes up there. This is Frosting, who would be a G.I. Joe if he made it out of this book. Frosting is ferrying yet another character, and Starscream's like, I'm gonna engage the would-be Transformer. Let's go. So Frosting's like, holy shit, there's like another jet in the air. We don't have any.
Where'd he come
where
from?
do we go? And so he's expertly maneuvering around Starscream, and Starscream's like, all right, that's enough. He transforms into Starscream and then just like punches the jet.
Here's something you can't do.
Exactly.
I love that the jet doesn't just disintegrate
No,
under
it's just
him,
like,
which
"Ugh."
is what absolutely would happen. Like, it would not stay in one piece and be deflected.
No,
it would just
be a
shatter.
disaster.
But that's a fun visual.
Yeah, so Frosting ejects, and Starscream catches Frosting and then squishes him, as is his move.
Oh.
So
But
Frosting's out.
Cupcake gets away.
Cupcake, because Frosting.
Yeah.
So Cupcake, he parachutes down, and he disengages his parachute, activates his awesome jetpack that has fins that pop out, and then attacks Starscream. Starscream goes after him, uses the parachute as a distraction to get around Starscream, and then just shoots Starscream in the face, and then flies off. We see his name tag, it's Duke. Cameo for G.I. Joe. Something that should have been done in any Transformers movie at any point in the last 20 years, and yet we had to wait for this. Also, this has more stakes because this will actually pay off, as opposed to the movies in which nothing does.
Right.
So, Duke, yeah! And then shortly after
Sweet.
this, the Duke series launched, and then that came up, and then the G.I. Joe book came out of that. So yeah.
Cool. And then we get closure on what happens to the plane.
Yeah, it lands on Skywarp.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and the Autobots like see the wreckage from afar. They're like, "Oh shit!" Like they're just seeing like plumes of smoke, and they're
Yeah,
like,
that looks like
That's
Decepticons.
Decepticon work.
Yeah.
"We should probably check this out." So transform and roll out.
Oh god, and we get this horrifying image of Optimus Prime half
Mid-transform.
transformed. I don't like that.
Does it hurt when you transform? Every time.
It really looks like it does. So yeah,
Where does your head go? I don't understand.
it folds back inside.
It folds back inside, turns off, and then I am the cab. Like every part of
Yeah,
me.
my windows are my eyes.
Exactly.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, no. So Soundwave sends Laserbeak to go like do recon and find them. He ends up like chasing after Carly. Carly goes home,
Okay.
and
Oh.
when she gets there, Spike's father is dressed in his fatigues, and he's like, "We have to shoot these effing robots. Like, we got to take these guys down." He's immediately in like Vietnam mode.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Where's my dad?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, your dad is friggin' dead. Closed coffin funeral for your dad. I'm sorry."
She's like, "How did he die?" Ooh.
You don't want to know that answer. What do you want to hear?
Quickly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he tells her.
Yeah.
He says he was crushed by a giant robot.
Well, that way, she'll be militarized, which she kind of is.
Right.
Then Laserbeak just immediately disregards the building and just smashes into her house. You're just like, ah!
I said recon! You're doing recon!
Yeah, no, kill her. She's part of this problem.
I mean, I like it.
Right?
It's very like real.
Yeah, it's too real.
Like, and the characters are like asking questions,
Yeah, like
like
real
they
questions.
would.
Yep.
She just immediately is like, "Oh my God, was it like what did the Decepticons look like? Like,
Yeah, which
was it
one
like
was it?"
this?" He's like, "Oh my God, like
Yeah,
they're just getting to the point."
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
He's like, "I'm leaving. I'm ducking out after this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to stay for like 20 issues." So while Spike's dad fights Laserbeak, Cliffjumper pops in to take down Laserbeak, and he's like, "Hey!" And then Spike's dad blows him away.
Oh no, but he's not dead.
He's not
right?
dead, but it's like it's a shotgun.
Exactly. He's like,
Knocks
it's
him
one
over.
of the robots.
Yep.
He doesn't know.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Even though he's like friendly looking and fun. So Carlos like, no, he's cool, and he's like, nope, no, none of them are cool. Get in the car. They jump into a police car because he stole a police car to get here.
Yeah.
It's like, it was all bets are off. It's Armageddon.
But then the police car also transformed because it was a robot in disguise.
Oh no!
She calls it Mr. Witwicky, so this is the same family from.
Oh yeah.
I did
Spike
not
Witwicky.
realize.
Yeah, no, it's a callback. The movies are a callback to Spike.
Oh.
And Shia LaBeouf is technically
Spike. Oh, they never call him Spike.
no.
They call him Sam.
Yeah, but Spike is the name.
Spike
that
is
they
what
went
they
for
refer to.
in the
Yeah.
cartoon.
Sam also never talked about the older brother that died.
Yeah, that's
No,
an
they didn't-
invention.
they didn't have
But
that.
also, those movies suck.
Yeah, but also that's trash.
Yeah.
That we're
Also, who
talking
gives
about.
a shit? It's Shia LaBeouf we're talking about.
Yeah, it was
Who I never had a
unfortunate
good feeling
casting.
from ever in my life, and was only validated every year that goes by.
That's just reinforced.
Just reinforced every time
Oh,
Shia LaBeouf
not
is brought up in any conversation.
great he is. It wasn't destroyed hard enough.
Yeah, because
He
he still
keeps
ruined
hanging
an Indiana
out.
Jones movie.
Yeah, and you still see him every so often.
Yeah, he pops up every once in a while. So Soundwave has his own agenda. Mostly it's to get Ravage fixed, but also he's like,
Right. What about my dog, man?
But he's also like, Starscream is a problem. Like, Starscream is not a good leader.
Yeah, he's like, I don't think so.
Starscream
Is
will
where it's at.
sacrifice any
Yep.
Decepticon.
I gotta take him down.
To win,
win.
and it's like, I don't even know why he wants to win. And in fact,
But what about
Starscream.
Ravage?
Yeah, we gotta fix Ravage. Starscream was militarized by Megatron, who it is implied within the Energon universe might also have, like, influence powers. Like, Megatron
like
may also...
psychic abilities.
It's more like proximity / like influence over them. It's like he's like a metaphor for an echo chamber. Like Megatron can affect those around him negatively and make them kind
He
of like
makes them go crazy.
Like kind of override their programming
a little bit.
yeah,
like
like
it's
brainwash them. a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
but like not in a overt way.
Right.
You know, like he's just more
like-
convincing than most other Cybertronians would be in any
Right.
circumstance. But yeah,
You know what it is? He's very symmetrical, so they see him as very beautiful.
Yeah,
He's
they're just
just so
like
beautiful.
I'm just when you talk,
I'm
I'm
drawn
just
to him.
captivated. Yeah,
exactly. But yeah,
They're like, aren't all of you guys symmetrical? Like, you look exactly the same left to right. They're like, oh, you don't understand.
No, there's very
Cybertronian
minor
differences.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
Megatron is perfectly level. He's perfectly pitched.
Wow, you think both my sides look the same?
Gross.
Wow, that's
Yeah, I guess we all
very
just look the
humanist of
same
you.
to you.
Yeah, I
We're all
can't-
just symmetric. Can't tell our very distinct, minute differences between our two halves.
so. Spike's dad brings Carly to the like VFW hall where his drinking buddies have all also armed up, and they're like, "It's war. We're declaring war on these invading robot aliens. Let's go." Cliffjumper's like, "Hey, okay, before we get started, I'm not a bad guy." They all blow him away. Carly then,
Why does he keep going after
Yeah.
Carly?
because he's friends with her. He's
Yeah,
like,
he's
she's
like
cool.
he's trying to protect her.
Yeah. So Carly goes to defend Cliffjumper. So
And then-
Skywarp jumps in. He's like, "All right, the bird is enough. I'm gonna murder you guys. Here we
Yeah.
go." And so he just starts like slapping people around, like it's
like
just
kicking them.
Yes,
and
it's a disaster.
This guy becomes a rag doll.
Oh, it's
he's dead.
so great.
Every bone in his body is
It's just it's
destroyed.
fluid.
Yeah.
He is a blood sack now.
Ugh.
So Skywarp gets the upper hand, and he's about to blow Cliffjumper away. Carly like stands in his way, like to defend him. And Skywarp's like, dude, all right, I'll blow both your way. It's fine. And then Optimus Prime arrives.
Nice.
And just drives right into Skywarp. There's
great.
a double page splash.
Boom.
Just transforms. And he's like, let's get it done.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So then Optimus fights Skywarp, and it's awesome. It's just a knockdown, drag-out fight. Then we reveal, and this is a thing that Optimus Prime could always do in the original cartoon, he extends out his arm and generates his energy axe that comes out of his hand,
Nice.
which is, fueled by Energon.
That's always a thing he could do?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Right?
I had no idea.
No, in the cartoon, I remember seeing it, and I'm like, what? He could always do that? That's cool. So he is about to slice the shit out of Skywarp when Sam's dad and company fire a bazooka at Optimus's arm.
God damn it.
Yeah. This damages it significantly,
Oh.
and Skywarp sees that advantage and then just starts firing into it. Like, let's just separate Prime from his main arm weapon.
Oh no.
Sam's dad is like, pour it on! They're down! Let's go! Just keep firing!
Why is he only attacking Optimus though?
Because Optimus is the weaker one.
So
We can
he's
get an
like,
advantage
I can take that
I
one
can
down.
take that one.
No, now you need to take the other one down while he's distracted.
Exactly. So while Sam's father and company are just emptying their clips into Optimus Prime, Spike takes a errant bullet in the gut. Perfect depiction. Just,
Ooh.
Spike's father is like, whoa! Hold your fire.
Oh, now hold your fire. Okay.
Yep.
Skywarp takes that advantage to maybe kill Spike. Like, that's the plan. I'm just blow him away with my ion cannon, which I'm like, dude, kid's already down.
Yeah.
And Prime just unleashes on this dude. Just headbutts him and then just punches him.
Even though he has
Yikes.
a mangled arm.
Well, he actually ends up ripping his own mangled arm off and then beats Skywarp to death with it.
Oh my god, that's horrifying and great.
It does damage his arm beyond repair, but yeah.
Yeah.
Just wails this dude into nothing.
Holy
awesome.
shit.
And he sees poor Spike's body on the ground and then immediately brings him back to the deer.
Can you imagine seeing that?
It's already impossible.
Yeah.
And then he rips his own arm off and then beats the dude to death with it. I'm like, I think I might leave. As much as I want to see that and I am gripped by it, I think I would be like, the first hit, I'd be like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
I'm
Yeah.
imagining
I just
any
run
other
in any direction.
Cybertronian seeing this and just heaving immediately.
Gears.
Gears and oil.
That is horrifying. That's
So,
awesome.
Imagine, okay, so a human doing it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we saw...
That is atrocious.
We saw D-Dubs depict Wonder Woman doing it with Superman's spinal column and
true.
skull.
But that
That's
was
true.
someone else's body part.
Right, that's true. Someone takes their own arm and then beats someone to death with it. If I saw a human do that, yeah, I would shit. No.
I wonder if you could beat someone to death with your own arm.
Right? The thing is,
Does
if
your
I
arm,
can I
have
punch someone to
enough-
death?
Technically,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, you definitely can. I think you'd get more force with your own fist, though, than you would,
Swinging
flailing
an arm? Yeah. I don't know.
You can't drive the arm through someone the way you could drive your fist.
Yeah.
You know?
But you can't
that's
break your
because
hand.
you could-
That's
it would
because what you're
sting.
doing is you're creating power and tension with your muscles.
Yeah.
You're supporting the skeletal structure.
Yeah.
You don't have that once the limb is detached.
No.
Yeah, you don't
But
have
you
follow
still
through.
have bludgeoning force with it.
Yeah,
It's
but it would start
essentially
to
using
fall
a bone.
apart.
Oh, yeah, which it does in the comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so would their body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true. What
if
gives
I'm
way
hitting
first?
my flesh
your
against
skull
your flesh.
Yeah.
or my arm flesh?
Right? Yeah. Well, and I don't. I have the luxury of not being attached to the arm anymore, so
Right.
I can go all day. You feel every moment.
Right.
I feel like the face.
But
will
what
give away
about the blood loss from where your arm? How many swings
this
can you really even
presupposes the
get
idea
in?
that you also can survive long enough to do it.
I see.
And also that you don't go immediately into shock upon losing the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Although the shock might help you.
Maybe someone cauterized your arm stub really quick.
Yeah, what if it's a Jedi fight? Where
Yeah,
it's
there
like,
you
okay, I
go.
got hit by the
There you
lightsaber.
go. Yeah.
And that immediately cauterizes the wound. So
Could
now I'm
Luke Skywalker beat
the
Darth
Emperor
Vader to death with his severed arm if it was cut off by a lightsaber?
I mean, I definitely say no.
Wouldn't the Emperor just shoot him with his lightning or
Well,
force
that's why I
choke
said
him
Vader.
first?
Yeah, because Vader, no, because he's too armored up.
That's true,
The
he has the
Emperor,
helmet.
yes.
Yeah.
Palpatine is just a weak, frail old man. He's
Right.
going down first.
Could Luke Skywalker beat Han Solo to death with his own arm if they were fighting for some reason?
Right, yeah, absolutely. I mean, but only if Han either laser blasted or lightsabered off Luke's arm. Like,
Yeah.
you know, as long as Luke can survive from the arm loss.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the question of, like, can anyone? You know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't know.
So Prime sees, so Prime and Spike's father like find Spike, and he's just like, "Let's go, like we gotta go.
Yeah, and his dad's like, no, don't touch him!
Don't touch him!" And he just transforms into a cab, which I think is an amazing image of like Spike's father can't fathom any of the shit that happened to him today, and then a giant robot grabbed his dying son, turned into what is so familiar to be like a truck cab, and it just opens the door like, let's go.
And the truck cab's all like
all
fucked
messed
up.
Yeah, because he's missing an
All messed
arm.
up, Yeah.
Exactly.
He shouldn't be able to transform fully.
He's got battle damage.
He should be like missing a wheel or something.
No, he's missing the arm.
The arm is portions of the cab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. He redistributes. He's a smaller cab.
Right. Or a
Slightly
cab
smaller.
with chunks taken
Missing,
out of it.
yeah, exactly.
This guy was like, help me!
Yeah, Scar was like, he's all like fucked up. He's like, I didn't see this coming. And Starscream's like, yeah, hold that thought, and he just transforms and leaves. Ratchet's like, all right, this isn't looking good. He's watching on the like monitors and stuff. But we have plans for Skywarp, so hang on to him. He's not quite dead
he's
yet.
not dead yet.
While Starscream gains the upper hand on Prime, Carly and Cliffjumper end up sideswiping Starscream, and then Prime drives over Starscream's face.
Nice.
So they get to the hospital, and this is horrible because Prime like transforms. He gives Spike to his father. His father calls for the orderlies to help, and he proceeds to defend them from Starscream's attack. Starscream is like, so this is where the people of this planet go to be repaired. That's
Yes.
great. Let's just start attacking this building and just fuck up everyone in it.
Oh my god.
So while Soundwave fights Prime, Starscream just starts shooting into the hospital. Which is like, Jesus Christ, Starscream. Which is like, yeah, that's Starscream. That is Starscream to a T.
Yeah.
This book is drawn fantastic.
Yeah,
I know,
it's
it's
Like, it's
amazing.
so engaging.
Yeah, and like, and
Yeah.
it's so like detailed. I'm like, hey, D-Dubs, how come this book didn't take 10 years to draw?
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's just like, whoa.
He's like, I'm very frenetic.
You should see it. The process is amazing. It's just, bad news bears.
Soundwave and Starscream against Optimus Prime with
And-
one arm, and
an arm.
Cliffjumper, who's useless.
But don't worry, because then Jazz shows up.
Woo!
We've gotten Jazz fixed. Jazz is a music-oriented Autobot.
Oh, and he's got like little submachine guns.
Yeah.
So Jazz and Ratchet help Optimus Prime up. Meanwhile, Starscream and Soundwave bid a hasty retreat because now they're outnumbered and Starscream is a coward. And Optimus looks like through the open hole in the ceiling, like that way he can be part of like the experience of Spike being helped. The generator's out. The hospital has no power. We're done. Everyone in this hospital who might need power
Electricity is
going
going to die. Yeah.
So Optimus opens up his chest, takes out the Matrix of Leadership, and uses his spark, which is basically his life force, to power the hospital. His energy goes through everything, and all the lights turn on. Like, okay, and they immediately spring into action. They get Spike intubated. This is a move that Prime can use once. You can basically bring one person back from the dead by doing this move. You're really not supposed to do this.
I see.
Especially because, like, we need you. You're the leader of the Autobots. Like,
Right.
if you die, we can't fix you.
Well, how much of his energy does it take?
I mean, we don't see like a power meter. This isn't a Spawn comic book. But
I really want to see a counter that declines every time Optimus
that would be
does
very
one of these
stressful. It'd be more
moves.
stressful than it is already, and then you'd lose sight of what's going on here. You know, the real story.
Sure.
So Starscream and Soundwave bring Skywarp back to their to the Ark, which is their base of operations, and they're like, we are like low on power, we're low on Energon, and so they rip Skywarp apart
Oh yeah, to eat
my
him.
God.
and ingest his precious and juicy Energon.
That's awesome.
So they're cannibals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Starscream resorts to cannibalism to survive.
Yep. I love that Skywarp is like, guys.
Yeah, what?
What are you doing, brothers?
They're also not done with Skywarp.
Oh, they're not done after eating him?
No, they use his parts to repair Teletran 1.
Oh.
So Skywarp is now part of Teletran 1. Teletran 1 is a Decepticon.
Oh, no.
He can't transform. He's part of a
Does he
stationary...
remember being Skywarp? Does he remember being, like, torn apart?
Yeah. Well, he's broken. He knows to hate Autobots, but he's not like, fuck Starscream.
Right, he doesn't remember that.
No.
Well,
But when the
too
Autobots
bad.
eventually reclaim the Ark, they have to like deal with it, and they're like, it's not helpful.
Right.
You know, it's like, I'm not gonna repair you. You're Autobots, and I'm like, damn it,
God damn it.
Starscream. Even when you fucking fail, you win. It's like true evil.
Yeah.
So Spike's dad chats it up with Optimus Prime, explains what a father is, and parenting, and all this stuff, and he's just like, yeah, you saved the day, thank you.
Optimus is like, oh my god, that's how you make more humans?
Oh no, don't talk anymore. So, oh wait, I can't. I only have the one arm.
Yeah, it's a sound one hand clapping.
Yeah. Whap. So Ratchet brings Prime over, and he's like, hey man, so
You're missing an arm.
no, he's like, you really shouldn't use that thing on this thing. Like, this is fucking bad for us. Like, we can't do anything. But listen, we might be able to build a machine that can siphon energy and make Energon. Like, we might be able to fix this.
Mm-hmm. I see Jazz is like, he's like struggling because
Yeah,
he's like
Jazz,
low.
they gave him enough energy. Well, they brought him back just enough to do this one thing.
Right,
And
to
then
fight.
he'll probably die.
Ugh. If we don't get more energy.
Yeah.
He's starving to death.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not going to resort to cannibalism here.
Yeah.
No, we're not gross. So Carly and
And I guess technically Optimus could have used his Energon matrix of leadership
Yeah.
to power Jazz.
yes,
Yes.
yeah, that would have brought Jazz fully functional again.
But
like,
Spike would have died.
Spike would have died, and like the rest of them will die too. Like it's like no, we don't trade lives here.
Mm-hmm.
So Cliffjumper and Carly like have a heart to heart. It's really like sad because Cliffjumper is kind of like still treated like he's not
Lame?
aware of everything. Like
Oh.
he's just, he doesn't understand it all right away, which I really appreciate. Like Cliffjumper has an arc; he like has to grow, and Carly like doesn't really have a lot of patience for it because she's just lost all of her family. So
Right.
she's really devastated.
And like, I don't blame her if she blames all of the Cybertronians.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
None
but
of this
she
would have
doesn't.
happened.
So Ratchet offers Prime an impossible solution to their problem. He's like, we do have parts that could fix or at least help repair you. And Prime's like, I don't know if I want to do that. Eventually he relents.
Is he going to use Bumblebee? No.
Prime then emerges, he calls Cliffjumper for help, and he's like, hey, I need you for a mission. And we see that the arm that he's been replaced is Megatron's arm.
What?
What?
Megatron's arm was on the Ark,
Oh, and they took it with them.
and they took it with them.
Like, we might want
We
this.
might need this.
Interesting. So he's got a big cannon
Yeah.
arm now.
And part of Megatron is now attached to Prime. So I'm kind of concerned that, like, this
Yeah,
will
the-
have
the
a corrupting...
He's gonna hear like a
Yeah.
little voice in his head.
Yes! Yeah! Like, I was really...
Don't show
You should
mercy.
lead them. You should control them.
Yeah, I'm really worried about
You're
that.
the leader.
I hope not. I genuinely hope that's not what's going to happen, but...
Also, where's Starscream? I really want to kick that guy's ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use your right arm and backhand him, or do a fisherman suplex on him or something.
Well, I already did that once. Good.
Yes!
So, and we get a shot of
Megatron.
Megatron in some frozen wasteland.
Yeah, that's right.
Interesting.
Yeah, eventually, Cobra La will get control of Megatron and siphon his Energon. There's actually a sequence in Void Rivals where eventually they find him, and we know it's him because like there's a line that's used from the original movie where he's like, "I still function which is something that he says to Starscream before Starscream like blows him away and then kicks him out the door into open space. Whereupon Megatron finds Unicron, the Galactus analog for Transformers, and then he rebuilds him and makes him into his Herald Galvatron. Anyway,
Of course.
as you do. Of course, that's not in this, but I'm sure will be.
Well, we got a nice juxtaposition of the PTSD
That both Prime and Spike's father suffer from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they reminisce or
They connect over.
commiserate about war.
War, yeah, they do talk about like war and how like
Yeah.
Prime's like, yeah, I've been fighting the war for like 1,000 years, and shit like that, and he's like, I can't even fathom that. That's fucking insane.
Spike's dad like, we have this thing on our planet called alcohol. Prime's like, what?
What is this alcohol?
Oh man,
I can consume it.
and it makes me feel better.
Guys, our problems are solved.
Oh no,
It makes you feel better at first, and then you feel worse.
but then why would anyone drink this?
But if you keep drinking it, you just eventually pass out feeling great.
And then you skip over the feeling worse part.
Yeah.
You do feel like shit physically when you wake up from
sure,
that.
yeah.
But then you could just have more, and you forget how that feels.
But if you do have loved ones, like they will also suffer from your
yeah,
your
so
indulgence.
it's a real monkey's paw.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a real.
Sophie's Choice? No.
No, I'm trying to think of like a Cybertronian analog for a monkey's paw, but I don't
Yeah.
know what that is because I don't know what you fuckers evolved from.
Yeah, what did you evolve from? It's
Nothing.
I
I just came
arm.
to being. Oh, so it's like a smaller robot's paw.
Yeah, like an older model's paw.
Is that Starscream?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Did Starscream always just have an SLR on the bottom of him?
No, he's bringing along Reflector, who's another Decepticon.
small.
Oh,
ones, that's
okay.
gone.
Yeah.
Okay, that's clever.
Exactly. Yeah.
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 I like that it's Reflector.
Exactly. Yeah. Not to be confused with Frenzy. So Teletram / Skywarp is now putting people together. Meanwhile, Soundwave's like, now we can fix Ravage, and fucking Starscream just kicks Ravage across the arc, and he's like, we're not wasting time with dogs and shit. Fat chance.
Man, you and that Ravage, you just won't shut up about
Shut
Ravage.
up, all right? We're making Thundercracker. And Thundercracker's like, I'm here, I guess. And they're like, yeah, and Reflector and Frenzy. And we're like, okay.
Look, Ravage growled and barked at Starscream
One too many times. That's right.
He's like, I hate that dog.
Reflector's like, all right, we're back. Starscream, where's Megatron? Shut up!
Shut up, Megatron!
Yeah, well, nobody, oh my God, no, you can't stop talking about Megatron. So Spike has an idea to use the dam in the area and its hydroelectric powers to generate power for the machine they need to make the Energon they need and repair more of their allies. Prime's like, we need more people or we're gonna lose.
Right.
And it's not gonna be good for us. So they get it going, it's working, and Prime immediately is like, let's bring back the girl one. RC, she's cool, and she is cool, and it was really awesome to see her in that awful movie that they most recently made, even though that movie was really bad.
Which one was that? Was that The Last Night? Or
No, it was another
one. Lost track of them.
I don't remember.
How many are they at? 6? 5?
It's too many.
Wasn't Bumblebee?
Well, Bumblebee,
No, after
yeah,
Bumblebee, they made another one.
they made
I
another
didn't
one that
see
was
anything
like
after that.
Oh,
It had the primals in it. It had
Yes.
it had Beast Wars
Age
in
of
it.
Age
of Extinction? No.
Was it Age of Extinction? Maybe it was Age of Extinction.
Rise of the Beasts.
Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah, Pete Davidson played Jazz,
Oh.
and he blew,
I didn't
as you can
see
imagine.
Rise of the Beasts. I didn't see the last 2.
Yeah, you're good.
Except Bumblebee. Yeah.
Bumblebee's worth seeing, but the other ones are not.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I really wanted to see the Beasts, though.
Yeah, they're not worth it.
Damn it.
Yeah. No, it's
Here's
real
the
bad.
thing, you can watch it now. You're paying for a streaming service. You're
Yeah.
technically paying for it anyway.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. And
I could watch
I
it.
wish I got my money back.
And you don't have to see it in theaters.
Yeah,
But
I
it
did.
could you still waste 2.5
That's
hours.
right. Something
You
is
waste
much more
your
precious
life.
to me.
Yeah.
That's right. They're like, Prime, get him, we're going to fix you. And he's like, no, our warriors first. He puts RC in there.
Right, we
She's
need bodies
back.
for the war.
We need bodies. Skywarp shows up. He
And
starts
it's cannon fodder.
They immediately, the Decepticons already know what they're doing and where they are. They immediately just start hitting him with friggin' missiles and shit.
Ah, jeez.
Prime's like, son of a bitch!
God damn
I don't
it!
got 2 seconds!
Yep. This is frantic.
Yeah, oh,
Like
no.
it's like
Every
"God, we're
minute
gonna do
is-
this. Oh, more!
Yeah.
Like they're constantly under attack. The odds are constantly shifting back and forth.
know.
It's a lot.
Reflector goes to
Very
shoot.
stressful.
He just drops in an Optimus. Optimus is like, yeah. Everyone's like, oh dear.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Prime uses Megatron's own
Yep.
cannon to
I'm gonna
blow him away.
Blow you apart with this gun.
Prime grabs Frenzy, just like, you do it.
Nice.
Carly wants revenge on Starscream. for murdering her father.
Yeah.
She tries to shoot at Starscream with one of like the weapons that are lying around that Cliffjumper can wield because it's small enough for her to use. And Starscream just like blows out the ground from under her and she falls from the dam. RC then runs up the side of the dam because Prime's like, "Oh no, Carly!" And I was like, "I don't know what these words mean, but it looks like that thing is precious to Prime, so here I go." Just immediately runs, transforms, drives up the side of the dam, pivots, pops open the door, catches her. It's just like, yes!
That's very cool.
The shit I want to see. When you promised me live action Transformers shit, this is the kind of stuff I wanted to see. And they're like, how about 3.5 seconds of that stuff per movie?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's in the movie.
That's in one of the
movies. That kind of cool stuff is in there sometimes.
Yeah.
Real fast, though.
But can they save characters I like? The best I can do is making them look like Transformers. Cliffjumper is so busy watching Carly get saved that he's about to get blown away, but then Jazz pops in, and so Jazz and Cliffjumper team up, and they kick ass. It just becomes a complete like mess of Transformers.
Yeah,
shooting at each other.
It's a big fight.
There's a big, insane
There's more
fight.
Transformers than before, so now there's more of them involved. It's more confusing.
Yeah, Starscream blows away their generator, so that's the end of that. Again,
They got one
and I'm like,
new Transformer?
This is the kind of like cyclical shit that I just have no patience for when it comes to Transformers. It's just like, it really is like the million-year war and shit, where I'm like, you've lost, like you can't win. And it's not like you're going to win now that I'm paying attention.
Right.
So, like what?
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's going to be more of this.
More of this, and it must be just so utterly demoralizing for anyone fighting this war.
It's just a back and forth. Like, we hit one of yours, you hit one of ours,
Yeah.
you hit one of yours,
Which,
you hit
like,
one of
congratulations, you've never demonstrated the futility of war.
Yeah, it's actually a
ours. And
metaphor.
you won't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, because war doesn't stop.
Right?
And there's no winners. And I mean, they lay it out for you. Like, Prime is like, it's been years and years and years.
Yeah, he says that to Spike's father.
Yeah.
It's been,
Like,
it's been years and years and years.
letting
and
you
years.
know, like, this is not gonna, dear reader,
It's never going to stop.
we're not gonna stop this war. Like, they're not gonna win.
Right. No. And it's like, oh man. Well,
And this is what their existence has been.
I mean, for the people in the book,
hundreds or
it's
thousands of
very
years.
sad. For the people reading it, thank God, because that's why I'm buying the book.
right, that's true. But I'm also, I mean, like, if I'm reading a Danny Warren Johnson story, I'm kind of hoping for like a conclusion.
Right.
And at this point, a pretty satisfying one.
Yeah.
But I know I'm never going to get it because like the license will run out before this fucking war ends.
Yeah.
So they all like kind of Prime shoots Starscream in a pivotal location.
Looks like it is cockpit.
Yeah. He shoots him in his cockpit. Ratchet's like,
I said the cockpit.
yeah, I
Did you
get
hear
it.
me?
Yeah, no, I got it, everybody. Ratchet's
I don't think you did.
because I'm talking about his dick. Ratchet's like, this will take a long time to fix, but looks like it can be fixed. Oh, thank God, we can get more action figures out of this. So,
What, the generator from
yeah,
the...
the thing that makes more Transformers.
I mean, people can remake those.
Yeah, we can just rebuild the infrastructure of the dam.
right, as long as Starscream doesn't show up every 5 fucking seconds and blow it up.
I noticed that the Decepticons are like all planes. So they could always just show up out of nowhere with no warning.
Yeah.
Like, that's very unfair.
We are one plane down.
Yeah.
So while they're like limping away, Prime's like, now is the chance we have to go to the Ark and take it back.
Yes.
So let's go. So they all just rally up.
We may have a very slight numerical advantage.
Yep.
We won't any longer.
Exactly. No.
Yeah, it's now or never.
Now or never. So they go. Carly's like, not without me or not. And they're like, Carly, you're going to get squished. Please don't. And then Cliffjumper's like, ride with me. And
Hop on my
Thanks,
back.
Eowyn.
exactly. Hops in.
Hop in my seat.
Yep. Drives away. Prime brings Spike's father with them to the quarry. When they get to the ship, it immediately brings him back to his son, who's like going into space, and he's just like, ugh. They get attacked immediately by the Constructicons.
Oh my God.
It's awesome.
And I don't know if you guys are too familiar with like Transformers lore and stuff, but like,
Not at all.
the Constructicons are like smaller Decepticons, and they all have the same like color and formation because they assemble to make Devastator. And Devastator is the size of a skyscraper.
Oh my God.
I
How do you fight that?
Well, you're about to find out because like this book, it slaps.
I never knew Devastator in this form. I only remember Devastator from the movies.
Oh yeah. He
But
is in
Devastator in the movies was great.
He was great. He was great.
He is incredibly effective and very terrifying.
Yeah, he's better in this. Devastator is like scary. And you could feel that Dubbers wants to get that movie feel, not the bad one.
Oh,
The
I was gonna
80s
say,
one.
does he have 2 giant balls made of wrecking balls?
You know, surprisingly enough, that does not come up. We don't see wrecking balls descending from Devastator's crotch.
Okay, but you can't tell me that they're not there.
Yeah, you can, because I'm looking right at him, but I can tell you right now, there are no balls.
There's no balls in there.
There's no balls. He has a.
They're hidden behind
He has
the
a crotch plate,
They're
like all the
hidden
other
behind the plate.
Transformers.
They're underneath. It's his clothing. It's covering
They're
up
there.
his
Yeah.
his balls.
Right, exactly.
You know what it takes to be a Devastator? Balls of steel. Not brass balls.
No.
That's
No.
very different.
No,
That's
no.
if you're selling stuff.
That's right. That's if you're in sales. But if you're in transforming, it takes balls of steel.
Oh, how's the transforming these days? Is it lucrative?
It's a tough racket. There's nothing we could do for this. We have like 6 we have like 4 or 5 Autobots, and Devastator's just gonna step on us.
Yeah.
Like Devastator's dump truck form. One of the Constructicons.
Just one of the Constructicons.
Just took out Prime.
Yeah. Yeah.
It says heavy metal.
Yeah.
Is that an onomatopoeia?
I don't understand.
He just wrote
Is
it.
that a
Who's-
sound
is-
effect,
oh,
or
is
is
one of
that
them
just like
saying
what
that?
I'm supposed to feel when I see
He's
it?
labeling it. That's heavy metal.
It's that. I mean, like, they say Prime, I got incoming, and it's just heavy metal, and I'm like, I guess.
Okay.
Let's
rad.
go. Rad.
So are they familiar with Devastator? They're like, oh no, Devastator.
No, well,
Or is it just like, that guy's just really big? I don't know who that
No,
is.
no, well, they don't say Devastator, but like
Right.
they do say, like, you know, Starscream's like, I knew you'd follow me, you fucking idiots. That's why I limped across the thing. Like, I brought back the Constructicons before we engaged the thing. We goaded you into coming
it's a
here.
trap.
Yeah, it's a big trap. And now we got Devastator who's gonna fuck you up, and he does. Meanwhile, while this is happening, Spike's father is like having PTSD of his son exploding in space. Devastator's just wrecking shit. They're like, we need to get into the Ark because Devastator's too big to fit in it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So while they're doing that, Cliffjumper's like, I can't go in the Ark because we'd have to pass Devastator to do it. So they find another entrance into the Ark because the Ark's so effing massive.
Right.
They find like another area in the mountain to climb in through. So while they're doing that, look at like Devastator's wrecking house, and Starscream just starts throwing up the horns, just go like, yeah, kill him, until Prime kicks him in the freaking head and then just walks right past him. So they like load up into the Ark until Devastator picks up Prime by the leg and then just starts hitting folk with him, like Starscream.
Whoops.
Because Devastator doesn't really distinguish. He's just like, "Brrr."
He's like dumb.
I'm like the ship.
Yeah, exactly. So he just hits him. So he's done. He drags, like at high velocity, Prime's body across the ship. And eventually RC and company like just drag Prime's broken, devastated body into the thing. Devastator's like reaching in, he can't get at him. He
Devastated body, I like that.
Yeah, exactly. He grabs Ratchet, and he's just like, he's got me!
Oh
He's
no.
dragging him out of the Ark, and they're like, we gotta close the door. He's like, just close it! It closes on Ratchet's leg, his leg's
Oh,
gone.
jeez.
Devastator's like, oh no, I only have a leg. He just starts punching at the freaking wall, is just trying to get in.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Cliffjumper sneaks in to the Ark the back way with Carly. Starscream climbs into the same entrance.
Oh,
And
no.
Carla's like, you killed my dad. And he's like, I don't know what that means. Cliffjumper's like, all right, let's go. I'm going to fight Starscream. So Cliffjumper fights Starscream. Meanwhile, D-Dubs just perfectly recreates in one panel the image of Prime dying from the movie. Because spoilers for the 84 movie, but Prime dies.
Yeah.
And it's just that scene. It's just the scene without Ultra Magnus in it. But he was in this continuity, don't worry. But yeah, he's just like, they're like, oh no. And he's like, it's too late. There's nothing we can do. Like,
Right. Take the cube from my chest.
he's just like, I'm sorry. Like maybe the next leader will do better. I'm done. And so he takes out the Matrix and drops it and just clatters to the ground. And Spike's father sees it and it like pops open and like it crackles with like latent diminished energy, you know? And Spike's father basically says like, my men and my son Prime, I need you to watch over them. And he enters the Matrix. He just goes into it and sparks it with his own life energy.
What? He could do that?
Evidently. Well, because he gets the idea because Prime used it to bring all of those people back.
So he's like, so there's something about
But that
your
doesn't
energy.
mean that people can go in and make energy.
Well,
He
it's
just
like,
did.
if you can like power us, maybe we can power you.
So he gets
With our
in,
life
it crackles
force.
with life. They put it into Prime.
Well, there's some connection between us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know why he'd have so much confidence that it would work, that he would do it
Yeah.
on his own accord, but
Look,
it is a comic book.
I get it that it's the end of the
is a death
road
wish.
for him. He's
Yeah.
like, you have to watch over my son. This is the only
Yeah.
way it'll work. But like, I did not see that coming.
No.
I'm thrown off by it.
Yeah, that's
I'm a little
very-
disturbed by it because that means that whoever has the spark could just fuel themselves forever with people.
Well, that's true. That's why it's a good thing the Autobots have it. But you'll see that this also affects Prime a little bit. But he's like,
You have to be willing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't work.
No, I think
okay.
Starscream be like, yeah, fake Newtons.
I eat people by the sleeve.
So he's just like,
Sometimes I just keep eating them so much. I eat them too much, and I just throw up
Yep, I got
body
barf
parts, and then I eat
people.
more.
thankfully they turn into Energon cubes. They're just like, brrr. But he's just like, I will protect your son, and I will protect the whole Earth.
Does Optimus have like Spike's dad sort of in him now?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a moment later where like we see the Prime's like, let's go, and then he has a memory of his father, and he's like, what the fuck was that?
That's interesting.
And it's like, so yeah, like Prime is more or less Spike's dad now,
Yeah.
which is pretty freaking cool. Like, who doesn't want Optimus Prime for?
There's also this is somewhat explained, his actions, from there's like a running sub theme or plot line
motif.
where Spike's dad is like likening the Transformers to gods.
Yes.
So he's like, "Are you God? Like to me, you really seem like God."
Yeah, and Prime's like, no.
And he's like, "Yeah, but you meet all the criteria. Like you literally like brought my son back to life.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like gigantic and super powerful. Like
That came from the heavens. It's
yeah,
true. Yeah,
like so
Prime's
he's
like,
got
no,
like
we're-
religious belief here. So I could imagine him thinking this will work.
That's true. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like you are related to us. I
Yeah.
can now see maybe this is like supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you can be like a messiah type figure
Sure.
for my people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like maybe this is the thing that'll fix us.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it works because he believes in it, that's even flimsier.
I
No,
mean,
it's
well,
somehow
metatextually, yes,
better.
but literally,
like,
I think any
he like
person
recognizes
would work.
the thing.
I think Prime could just be like, I'm starting to get low. I need a sacrifice. Anybody
Up for it?
Just
Anybody
pop someone
looking
in
to die?
there.
Yeah, no. And
Get it in
listen,
my
I'll
chest.
remember you and shit. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. You'll
Your
live on
memories
for
will
me.
live on.
Yeah.
You'll live forever because I don't fucking die as long as nothing kills me.
Well, no, Prime. What'll happen is when Prime eventually wins the war, he will like start his own religion, and he'll have like people who, you know, in robes, who just like dedicate their lives to the cause. Like they
Yeah.
are the spark.
Yeah.
We are the spark, and they just line up. you
Yeah.
know, just
It's like every time I'm a little hungry,
Yeah, he
well,
just
I'm gonna just get in me.
yeah, like
Just get in
Tulsa
my
Doom.
chest.
You know, just like come on down, child.
Yeah.
You know,
You're next.
yeah.
You have the
And I
honor.
don't even need the energy anymore. I just want them to be obedient.
I'm just kind of addicted to it.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah,
I just you know I ate one person and then I was like
this is pretty great.
another
It worked.
person and then you know then I couldn't stop.
See, flesh is stronger than steel.
That's right. So anyway, Devastator then reaches into like the roof.
Busts in.
Oh, he
He
breaks
busts
through
in.
the arc.
Yep. Yeah, he busts through the arc. Prime grabs one of Devastator's fingers and rips it off.
Nice.
Then picks up another ion blaster, and so now he's got twin cannons just blowing things away. The words "Oh yeah" drop from the sky, made of metal.
It's insane.
As he starts blowing Devastator away, Prime then rallies up and swings in to attack Devastator. Daniel Warren Johnson wanted it to say, "You got the touch," but didn't have the rights to use the song from the movie. So he wrote, "You know the song."
Holy crap. That's amazing.
And I'll tell you this, I didn't have a moment's hesitation when I saw this about what was playing when
Yep,
this
you
happened.
knew what line
I heard
it
the
was.
like the musical sting and then "You know the song." I was like, "Oh my god, are you
I
kidding
do.
me?
I can't believe he did that.
You got the power."
That's fucking awesome.
I'm like, "You got it. Yeah, all right." So he then like double kicks Devastator in the jaw. So Carly finds like a gun the size of her, which looks suspiciously like the gun that Megatron turns into. And so she fires it at Starscream. And so Starscream's down.
She fires it by pulling her whole like weight against the trigger.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Cliffjumper is now standing over Starscream, And Starscream's like, ah! And Carly's like, do it, kill him. He murdered my friggin' father. He killed all of us. And Cliffjumper's like, I can't do it. And she's like, but he killed your entire clan. He's like, I know, but I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all of it. And then Starscream grabs Carly and he's like, oh, now I'm gonna squish her to death.
Oh no.
And Cliffjumper's like, oh, they killed the wrong Bumblebee.
If only I should have done it.
Yeah, I'm a piece of
I
shit.
guess I should have killed him.
Yeah. So Prime transforms into a truck. You can see that the cab now has a giant freaking gun attachment on
stuck it
top
on
of it. Just
yeah.
burp. So he's like driving around, just kind of
Cool.
like
He's a tractor trailer with a gun turret.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
Sweet.
He lures Devastator up the side of like the mountain, brings Devastator, and just starts blowing him away. They fight on the top of this like.
Does he bring the mountain down on top of him?
No, they're on top of the mountain. So like he's just like, come on, Devastator, like lures Devastator, making fun of him and stuff. Devastator's like, is it? That's it. Give me your best shot, and then just tosses him over the side of the mountain.
Nice.
See, I used his force against him.
Yeah, it's a judo.
Exactly.
It's a judo move.
So while Devastator is plummeting off the side of the mountain, off the side of where the Ark is also.
So he like flipped him back down to where the ship was.
Yeah, past the ship. Yeah, exactly. So Carly and Cliffjumper is begging Starscream not to kill Carly, and Starscream literally goes, no! And then starts squeezing her until Devastator meets up with Starscream and just smashes him off the side of the building. Well, of the Ark.
Yeah, and conveniently drops Carly, and she is unhurt.
Well, he's so shocked. He's like, yeah, just let's go.
Yeah, so Cliffjumper grabs Carly and helps her out, and she's like, you could have ended it.
Yep.
And you didn't.
And I almost
So she is
died.
pissed at him for a while.
Yeah.
Yep. Then
he definitely should have killed them.
Yeah, I know. A lot of Autobots die in these things. Starscream kills Bumblebee by shooting him while he's offline in the face.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Devastator like shatters, and into all the Constructicons again. And then the Constructicons then collect all the Decepticons and leave.
But he falls and just breaks apart into other machines.
Like, oh no!
Breaks
now
into his
I'm
constituent parts.
I'm a bulldozer, but so he falls. So Soundwave sees all this, and Prime's like, "Let's fix this. Like, let's build our home back
I'll
together."
fix your dog.
Yeah, right. And
That's what you wanted, right?
yeah, and Soundwave tries to punch Prime, and Prime catches it and says, "Make no mistake, Soundwave. I desire peace, but I am no fool." And then Laserbeak catches Soundwave and takes him away. And Prime's like, until next time. Then Spike wakes up from his coma or whatever, and he's still intubated, and he just writes, "Where's my dad?"
Yeah. Well,
That's an
you and your
interesting
friend
question.
Carly have something in common,
Yeah. Oh,
and it's not good.
yeah. But you do have a lot more in common with your big hero Batman. So
That's true.
your parents are dead.
And I'm your new dad. And
Right?
your dad's kind of inside me.
So,
you know.
that's pretty sweet, right?
Right?
Huh? Too soon? Okay.
Anyway, I feel like you should eat your vegetables and
Brush your
do your
teeth.
chords. I
Hop in, no.
don't know why I said that.
Well, that was weird. Also, I feel a heavy desire for grain alcohol.
To drink. This ain't bad. All right.
Energon. So that's
Hey,
it.
and if you start to miss your dad too much, you can always just climb in my chest and get in there with him.
But, wait until I'm like really low.
Yeah.
Yeah. Optimus Prime has become Audrey 2.
Oh, now I have a taste for it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you can put yourself in my chest.
Put yourself in my chest.
Damn it, Prime.
It's not sexual. I mean,
It's not.
But it
It's
could
not.
be.
No, it's more about hunger.
Yeah.
Than that.
Than that.
It's not
a
not
different
that.
kind of
But
So yeah, no, but it continues, and it's like it really stays kind of like in its own lane for a long time, which I'm very surprised by.
This is really good.
it was
dope.
really good.
It's just really cool.
Super
And it's so
Well, you
cool.
brought out Transformers, and I'm like, we are gonna tear
Like,
this thing
this is
a
gonna
new
be
one.
ridiculous. It's stupid.
great.
No, it's dope.
No,
It's cool.
good.
I mean, it's Daniel Warren Johnson. His name goes on something, I buy it. It's just as simple as that. But like, when you make it Transformers and you make it like something that means something personal to him, like I'm actually really disappointed that this does not have his letter in it, because like the first issue of this run has a little like manifesto from Daniel Warren Johnson where he's like, this is why I said yes to this. Like, he doesn't say like, look, I know that like I really did kind of like make a big thing about how I'm really only going to be making original stuff, but like, here's why I said yes to Transformers. and I want you to know, it wasn't everything. It had very little to do with money. I'm
Not
saying
nothing.
Please. In order to get him, you'd have to pay out the ass.
Yeah.
Because he's not just gonna like phone it in. Daniel Warren Johnson doesn't phone it in.
This is a tremendous amount of very high quality work.
Yeah, no.
It's shocking.
Yeah, they even brought in his collaborator Mike Spicer to spice up the colors, which are phenomenal. It's just it
colors are
stands toe to toe
fantastic.
with all of Daniel Warren Johnson's original work. So it's like it's up there, and it's also somehow part of like an interwoven, interconnected, massive continuity story that involves and it technically is also part of the interconnected Energon universe.
I showed an image of Megatron frozen somewhere in the Alps.
Yeah, and Megatron is in another book, and Duke.
Duke is in
so
this.
there's two things that are connected.
Yeah.
Boom. At least. At least.
A seemingly nameless person does a cool maneuver for 3 panels. And then I show his name is Duke.
And then you see that
And
he's
that's
not
it.
nameless at all.
Yeah, it's Duke. And Frosting dies, so.
Frosting dies.
Which is a real shame.
Yeah,
We
that's sad.
Frosting, we hardly knew ye.
Yeah, what was his, thing?
Dude, there's so many G.I. Joes with names where I'm like, that doesn't match what you do. Or what you are.
What you are or anything about you. No, that's just my
I
name.
am Shipwreck. That's terrible.
Yeah, what? But you're a
Sal.
fisherman.
I don't get it. Sal doesn't match what you do.
No, that's my name. It's just this is what my parents called me.
Yeah, well, my parents called me Shipwreck.
No, they didn't. And if they did, they don't love you. I'm sorry.
It's because you wrecked their ship.
Yeah. The ship of our lives. Our
No,
marriage.
their relationship.
Yeah.
They split up because of you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
He's a real shipwreck.
Yeah. Wow. That sucks. Williamson's like, what?
Keep him coming.
That's a good
Oh,
one.
man. He...
Because Shipwreck doesn't appear yet.
That
in G.I. Joe.
could
So it's
be what the kids in school called him when they found out that his parents were getting divorced.
like, hey, Shipwreck. Relationship, that is.
Your parents.
Yeah.
You're the responsible. You're the reason it's put up.
It's like, what? 50% of marriages end in divorce. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, your parrot on your shoulder ain't helping anything.
Oh, well, don't drag him into this. You can buy it. It's in the comments down below. Please do. I did the first minute it came out. Like, when this book was launched, they were like, oh, we're doing the Energon universe. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Pass. And then they were like, oh, this. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'll try it.
Got me. Yeah.
And by the way, like, G.I. Joe was really cool. The Duke book was good. Cobra Commander was weird. Because, like, it's a book about Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
Right.
How am I supposed to
It's gonna
root
be
for the
weird.
villain the whole time?
Oh, you're not like rooting. You're just like, whoa, that's how Cobra
watching
Commander
what
came to be.
happened, yeah.
Like, he's a real piece of shit. But, like, the book is kind of
It
fun.
was a Magneto book.
Exactly, yeah. But Magneto has, like, a kind of...
Magneto's more of an anti-hero.
He's become that, yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly. I mean, he's and there's been periods. Cobra Commander's always been a dickbag.
That's true. There's no redeeming qualities.
No, and the book does not make any effort to be like, oh no, feel bad for Cobra Commander. Like, no.
Understand where he came from, you see.
Yeah, Cobra Commander is like
No.
Snake Hitler. Like, don't feel bad for him. But do buy his book though.
Right. I don't want that book. I don't want to read
you
a book
do.
about a bad guy.
No,
What?
don't you want to see more about Cobra Law?
No. Yeah. So how much control does Kirkman have
Over the license?
Does
I mean,
he just like orchestrate this framework? He's like, play with it, do whatever, or is
No.
there like a plan?
There is definitely a plan. There's definitely like a direction. Void Rivals, the book that he writes personally, is so specific and seems to be going in such a deliberate direction that there is no way that like these guys don't get notes.
Right.
They're like, make sure it goes in this direction. I mean,
Right.
they're
You can do
definitely-
this, you can't do this, you can
Yeah.
do this, you can't do this.
Or
I just
like-
needed to end up at this point. You
Yes.
can't contradict
Right,
this.
like pitch me your story. I'll incorporate that into my idea before it's even a script. And then I'll tell you where we're going and how it's going to get there so that like you don't contradict what I'm doing. But also, like, there aren't too many books. You
Right,
know?
it's not that hard.
It's not that hard. Like, if they do a Scarlet book before G.I. Joe comes out, do whatever the hell you want. Because it doesn't matter what happens to Jetfire in the Scarlet book. Knock yourself out. So pick this up in the comments. We'll see you guys next time with another episode. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
Keep reading.
Goose, 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 goose.
Shum.
These are the most batshit insane onomatopoeias I've ever seen. It's heavy metal. Just okay, that one can't even remotely be a sound.
Yeah, like what does that even mean? Maybe he's
You
like,
get it.
he's like, it sounds like really heavy metal hitting other heavy metal.
Yeah.
What does that sound like?
Yeah.
It sounds like heavy metal. to me.
Or
You
it
know
just
what it
sounds
sounds
like
like.
the genre of music.
Yeah.
You just hear heavy metal in the background.
You just hear music.
Guitar shredding.
That'd be freaking dope. It sounds like a dope drum solo. Yeah.
It looks so fucking good.
I also appreciate that he doesn't
Crazy.
even try to redesign them. He's like, this is what
This is what they look like.
What they look like.
Yep.
Yeah. Gen 1
It's
Transformers.
like a comic book.
Right. Don't
They can
try
look
to
like
make it.
fucking whatever I want. They can look like they looked in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why
It is
not?
a cartoon.
Yeah.
It's a static cartoon.
I don't have to figure out like how it works.
And by the way, it looks better than the cartoon ever did. But it's
Yeah.
clearly the same design.
Yep.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Like, but it's them made like more like gritty and like
Lived.
detailed
Yeah.
and yeah.
I know. Yeah, it's a wonder.
Yeah.